Hey, my name is Shelly, and this is my channel, Shell Space. So, we got a book haul for you. I just did an unhaul last week. Of course, this week, I got rid of some books. Now I gotta add more books. It's an ongoing thing. So, my birthday month was it was earlier in August, so the 1st of August, and I have a bunch of birthday books. I also have some pre-orders, some book outlet, and just some random buys. After this book haul, I'm going legit on a book ban. The only thing that I'll be buying is maybe audiobooks or reading ebooks. So here we go. The first book that I got for my birthday is How Do You Live by Zenubaro Yoshino. This book was recommended by Taylor from Made Between the Pages, and it was written in 1937, and it's about a young boy named Copper and his uncle. And Copper has lost his father, and his uncle's kind of taking him under his wing and kind of help raising him with his sister, who is Copper's mother. And Copper's a young boy, and I think throughout this book he's growing up, and his uncle is kind of reflecting on how Copper sees the world and how he's now beginning to see the world as a bigger place, because when you're younger you see the world as a small place. So he's now kind of discovering the world of adults, and his uncle is also kind of amazed by how well Copper is reflecting at such a young age. So it's kind of the story between them. So far, I've actually already started. I'm at page 91. I'm taking it really slow because I'm just enjoying my read of this. And so far, he's still a child, but I think he may grow up. I don't know. But yes, this book is just really good. The new Studio Ghibli movie, which is called The Boy and the Heron in North America, is loosely based on this book. Okie dokie. There's a huge pile here. Okay, so I got the entire War Eternal series by Rob J. Hayes, and this is one of my new favorite series of the year. We have Along the Razor's Edge, A Lesson Never Learned, From Cold Ashes Risen, Sins of a Mother, and Death's Beating Heart. Yeah, Death's Beating Heart. I have read the first 3. I still need to read these 2. And this is one of my favorite books, series right now. And it's a self-pub book series, and it's just really good. It's about a young sorceress named Eska. And she is on the losing side of a war and gets thrown into this underground prison called the Pit. And her best friend have to navigate this pit. And it's her life story. She's telling the story from an older perspective, and her struggles through the years. And it is such a good book. The character development is just so good, so good. And the relationships that develop, and the way that it's very, I love it. I love the series. The one complaint I have about this is there is a romance in this. It's very minimal romance, and I just feel it wasn't fleshed out as much as I wanted it to be, and I think that it should have just been removed. But I understand why it was included, because it's part of her development. It wasn't as impactful as I wanted it to be in the series. So that's just my one complaint. But overall, I'm enjoying the series so much, and I'm really excited to continue on with Sins of a Mother because it's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, the next series that I got for my birthday, I put these on my Amazon wish list, and my husband grabbed them, and it was during my romantic fantasy reading. So The Daughter of No Worlds, and whatever. So we got The Daughter of No Worlds. Oh god, they're really heavy. The Daughter of No Worlds, The Children of Fallen Gods, and The Mother and Death of Dawn. This is the War of Lost Hearts, written by Clarissa Brabant, who wrote A Serpent and the Wings of Night. I did not like that duology. It's not that I didn't like it. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. But I think that this series although it is, you know, a fantasy romance, it is more like on the fantastical side, and the romance is kind of like slow burn. And I think that's more my thing. So I'm gonna definitely get to these at some point this year. The next two are the pre-orders that I pre-ordered. The first one is Darkwater Daughter by M.H. Long. I read Hall of Smoke by M.H. Long, and I did enjoy it, but I just decided that I got whatever I wanted out of the book, and I didn't, itchy nose, and I decided not to continue on with the series. But I'm very excited to continue on with this because it's a seafaring book. I think there's a woman who can control weathers and storms, so sign me up. The next book that I pre-ordered is Lightbringer by Pierce Brown. If you have been following my channel for the heartbeat that has been on YouTube, you should know that I've been trying to read Dark Age for ages. Like, I'm just dragging my slow-ass feet to read that book. I don't know why. I keep putting it on my TBRs, and I keep pushing it back. So maybe eventually one day I will read it, and then I will continue on to Lightbringer, because I heard that this is a little bit more hopeful than Dark Age, which I am more inclined to read. So yeah, it's a beautiful book, but yeah, I'm eventually going to get to this, hopefully this year, but I don't know. Sorry, there's a fire truck outside, so if you see flashing lights, that's why. The next two books I picked up on a whim. The first is Daughter of the Empire from Raymond E. Feist and Jenny Wards. I've been wanting to read this book for a really, really long time. It is like a subgenre called sci-fantasy, and I love sci-fantasy. Sci-fantasy is exactly what it sounds like. It's sci-fi with fantastical elements. The best examples I can think of is Dune and Star Wars. You have, you know, the sci-fi element, but then you have also the fantastical element, which Dune is like, you know, they're like witch-like abilities, and Star Wars is like, you know, the Jedi and the Force. So I love sci-fantasy. So this is a really, like, everybody keeps talking about how phenomenal this book is, and I did not know that Jenny Wards actually illustrated her books. So that is pretty freaking awesome. I'm definitely going to get to this really soon, because since Ahsoka, the new Star Wars show, has come out, I've been like craving that sci-fantasy, so I'm probably going to get to it in September. The next book I picked up on a whim is Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. The only reason I picked this up is because Jessie May from Jessie May's channel has just raved about how this series is one of her favorite series and how it's got a lot of humor in it, and I need a little bit more humor in my books, to be honest. I'm getting sick of the doom and gloom. So I heard that this is like a, you know, like found family and swashbuckling tale, maybe, I don't know, but it sounds good. I heard that there's some sexual content that is a little icky. But if you could just close your eyes and ignore that, like a lot of people do for Stephen King books, I think I can probably do this for this book. So yeah, I'm eventually going to get to this. I think I'm probably going to listen to the audiobook because I have the audiobook on Scribd. And the last three books that I got from Book Outlet, which I'm banning myself, like I'm banning myself from Book Outlet because I can't shop there anymore. It's just too bad, is Son of the Storms. This came out a couple years ago, and a lot of people were praising it, and I don't know, I think I wasn't really in a mood for reading when it came out, so I never picked it up. And then the sequel's coming out very soon, so I thought what better time to pick it up than now. Another one I picked up on a whim is She Who Rides the Storm. I have no idea what this book is about. I haven't even seen anybody talk about it. I kind of briefly looked at Goodreads, and I think it's a duology, and I think it got pretty good reviews, so I just picked it up because it was like $5, so why not? Also, there's a blurb from Brandon Sanderson right here, and I think that's what made me really like just pick it up. So I will hopefully get to this year. The last book that I picked up from Book Outlet was Daughter of Red Winter by Ed McDonald, and I saw this cover when it was released, and I just wanted to read it so freaking bad. It is like everything about this cover, it just draws me in. I don't know why. I love girls with like white hair. I even tried to have white hair for a while and just looked fucking horrible. Everything about this cover, it just draws me in, but then I heard some not so great reviews about it, so I kind of never picked it up. But then I saw it on Book Outlet, and then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to read it because I should stop depending on what other people think about books. I'm going to just decide for myself. Plus, the sequel's coming out this fall, so I thought, better try it. So I think I'm going to read this in September as well. That was my book haul. It was pretty big. You probably won't see another book haul from me for quite some time unless it's an indie book haul. Hint, hint, hint. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. And if not, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.